And here we go.
All right.
First podcast of 2021.
2021, it's here.
It is here.
It's funny. Have you seen those match commercials where Satan gets matched up with user 2020?
No.
Really? Dude, it's funny. You got to look them up. I think.
What did a commercial for?
Match.com.
Oh, man. Okay.
So
okay.
Ryan Reynolds plays Satan, and he's on Match, and he's trying to like find love, and he gets matched up with 2020, who's this hot chick, and they're going around and shit. Dude, it is one of the best well done commercials I've seen in a long time. It is fucking pretty funny. They got them on YouTube. You can
check it out.
See them. It's funny, man. Yeah.
Also, 2020 asks, so where are you from? Hell, me too.
Yeah, it's funny. She's like, she hates toilet paper. There's a scene where she's stealing a bunch of toilet paper. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, but here we are, 2020, or
2021.
See how that goes.
I'm gonna have to get used to saying 2021.
Me too. So, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. And we are here. And we've got Z with us. And Z's got a Pokemon update. Z had a good Christmas. Got a bunch of stuff. He actually got him a 22 rifle from Santa Claus.
How'd you like shooting that?
I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah, he's pretty good, man. Once he figured out what to look at, like kind of, that's the hard thing, because you can't,
it's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain. You're telling people, and then you're trying to tell it to a kid, and it's like, okay, do your best. And so once he figured out what he needed to look at to get it going.
I hit the middle of the X almost every time.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Actually got the little target down here, which makes for compelling fucking podcasting, but...
That's one of them. But
dude, look at that.
A lot of those are
That was you?
shots.
That was him.
Dang, dude.
Then he started getting tired. Like, his arm started getting tired. But, dude, he was freaking plugging away from, like,
just
7 yards.
Standing there just shooting it up at your shoulder?
Yeah.
No resting it on nothing?
No.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. Just had it out at, like, 7 yards, and he was,
Heck yeah.
He was getting it.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That little rifle's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah. Shooting a little 22 is fun. I mean, it's just, there's no, you're not subconsciously scared of it. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to shoot. You're not like dealing with recoil and all this tension that you got to create to deal with it. So you're just, you're shooting a gun, but it's an enjoyable experience. So that's why I want to get a 22 pistol. They have a whole bay out there at the range, 422s.
Yeah,
that's where we went.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't gone over there. I've seen it from a distance. I haven't gone over there and looked at
The
it.
fucking targets are tiny.
Are they little?
Tiny. Yeah.
Huh.
So you feel like a badass if you're over there shooting your 22 on the regular bays with the bigger target, bigger size steel targets. And then you go over to the little one and you're like, it took me a little bit to like get myself like, oh, I got to be like real. You can't be just like kind of precise. You need to be real precise, which is cool because you can do that with the 22 because you don't have the recoil and all that stuff. Yeah. So you can shoot. Man, they had these little. They had to be like fucking 6 inches. Little circles, and they had some set up at the 50 yards out, and we were fucking shooting at those and like plinking those a few times.
Nice.
Man. Yeah. It was fun. So
50 yards out, and they were like this tiny.
Dude, you couldn't see that. Like you're doing your best, but I mean, honestly, at that point, there's a lot of skill involved. But there's a little bit of luck because there's like literally the iron sight is covering up the entire target. There's no way you're like really aiming at anything on the target. You're just kind of like, okay, I think this is lined up, and boom, and sometimes it would go plink. So anyways, yeah, he got him a 22 and some Pokemon cards and a bunch of Legos.
I got 7 things of Legos.
Nice.
On Christmas Eve, on Christmas.
Did you put them all together already?
Yep.
I'm assuming so.
In a day and a half.
Christmas Day, he plowed through about 5 of them, and then he put the other 2 together the next day. So, in case you're wondering, 7 Lego sets equals a day and a half of entertainment. So,
And then after that, I just went back to my normal bothering Ajax and my sister.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So
Sounds about right, buddy.
sometimes we'll take them apart and put them back together, but at that point, the project became helping me with Slave 1 and the Boba Fett helmet and all that. So, my Lego projects. It was a Lego heavy Christmas for the family. Charlotte got Baby Yoda. And he got his, and I got mine. Oh, and the friend set.
Did she figure out the catching the friend set on fire with the lighting situation yet?
No, we think that it may have just been a faulty unit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're returning it, and then Kevin, my stepdad's gonna help her put it together.
Nice.
So yeah, make sure it's done right. No more faulty units. So yeah, man. But so Z, you got a Pokemon card for us, yeah? Pokemon update time.
Yes.
All right, buddy. What do we got?
I was just sitting here so long I forgot what we were doing in here.
We're chatting.
Okay.
Our fortnightly chat.
It's an Alolan Sandslash.
Wow.
It evolved from Alolan Sandshrew. It has 110 hit points. It's a water type. Its attacks are Slush Rush, which does 0 damage, and Smash Turn, which does 50 damage. It's a rare. The little thing on the bottom says, feeling a volcano erupted. It settled a snowy mountain. As it races through the snowfields, it sends up a spray of snow.
Okay. So you like that one because it's rare?
Yeah. Also because it looks really cool.
Yeah. That's pretty good. All right, man.
Sweet.
Well, there you go. Pokemon update. Anything else you want to share?
I spent some of my Christmas money, and I got some really cool toys.
Did you?
One of them is actually rare that I got. It's a little... I got a cool rare Bot. It was in this little surprise pack, but it was actually cracked open a little bit. I was gonna peek in it, and then when I saw that it was a gold one, I was like, Dad, can I get this one?
What's a Bot from?
It's a mini Transformer.
Transformer?
Yeah.
Is it part of the Bot? Or
Yeah.
Bot is
It's
a
a
Transformer world?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just little tiny ones that...
I had no idea if this was Star Wars or
No,
Transformers or Pokemon.
Transformers.
I gotcha.
Yeah, they're pretty cute. It's they just take like, a telescope, a little mini telescope, and then now you got a robot thing. So they're like I said, they're pretty cute.
Stuff
Sweet.
like that. And like gold 3D glasses. Now you have a golden owl.
Nice.
So yeah, the golden ones are rare.
Mhm.
So
And I got one.
yeah, man. Well, all right, buddy. I guess.
Thanks for the update,
Yeah,
dude.
thanks for the update.
Get to start out 2021 properly.
Yeah. All right, man. Go get some breakfast, get cleaned up. You can use the new shower head
I
and the
already
new
did.
faucet. Well, today. You need to shower every day. It's still a thing.
It's still a thing.
Yeah. So, all right, man. We'll see ya. Just ruined his whole day.
And then he had to take a shower.
Yep.
It's funny that he dislikes him so much.
Well, it's... Dude. Yeah, don't get me started. It's a Pavlovian response. That's what's maddening. Because he doesn't dislike showers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck dislikes hot water running? Like, it's not a bad thing. No one's asking you to
Torture yourself.
torture
You don't have to
yourself.
go in there and take a freezing
Yeah,
cold shower.
exactly. It's an enjoyable thing. It's not a bad thing. And he actually likes it. Usually when he gets in, that's why we've had to set a timer on him half the time, because he stays in so long. It's just... He just has this knee-jerk response to certain things. And, like, taking a shower is just like... It's like, dude, what? Why? Like, it's maddening because it makes no sense. Like, we go through this, you know how this is going to end. Like, you can probably tell me all the things that I'm about to tell you. like,
We've done this,
we've
man,
done this
so many times.
What are we doing here? So, but yeah, it's funny, man. We have to threaten them half the time. Like, dude, if you have a bad attitude, you're not gonna get to watch anything later today. It's crazy that you got to threaten them with stuff to get them to just take a shower. So, but you know, it's part of the struggle. Kids they don't like being told what to do.
That's part of it.
Yeah. They're being told.
And being that he's your offspring, he probably has
even
it
less so.
even less so, like being told what to do. Some of that's your fault. It's hereditary.
I know. I know. It's all right, but you got to be able to examine it. That's the thing I'm trying to help him do. Is like it's good to be suspicious and rebellious. I think that just being a submissive sheep is not the answer, but you need to be able to temper it, you know. So on one end you've got people who wear fucking masks in their car, and on the other end you got people who think the fucking earth is flat. You know, it's like they either believe everything or they don't believe anything, and it's like we got to find a healthy balance somewhere in the middle. But you know, that's the goal. But a little skepticism is good.
Little skepticism is good.
Yeah, except for it's funny, man. We were talking about that this morning. Like, you know, we're getting into the shooting thing, and what's interesting is when we first get into stuff, like we don't have skepticism, you know, because we were talking about like, oh, this guy had this insight into like one eye versus both eyes and stuff like that, and we never really heard it before. And you and I have done, you know, relatively good amount of research and listened to stuff and so we, you know, but when we're in, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is what you do. I'm not really suspicious of a whole lot. Like if somebody who's better than me, which is pretty much everyone, tells me something, I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, you do eventually have to start questioning, because as we were talking about it, it's like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's, you know, but yeah, it's a lot. Like,
but you can't question it until you have to just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
And experiment yourself, and then you start questioning.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, when you're first learning something,
you gotta be able to turn the skepticism off.
You just have to follow stuff blindly.
Yes.
Unless it's completely ignorant. And then figure it out. Oh, okay, this may have been good advice. This may have been bad advice.
Yeah.
But you got to have that initial,
Yep.
just follow it and see what happens.
Yep.
You just got to kind of give up.
Like a fucking cult member here. Just, okay, whatever tell me to do, I'm going to do it. And we'll see. And, you know, in a few months I'll take a breath and come up and look around and be like, okay, how's this going? Like, you know, is there anything I need to reevaluate? And usually there is. But it's good at first. And we've talked about it, that, what was it, like unlearning? Or no, unfreedom. Mm-hmm. It's like you need a period of unfreedom, you know, like with jiu-jitsu, with white belts. It's like that's the same thing, man. Like, dude, if someone who's better than you, which is pretty much everyone, tells you, man, this is what you should be doing or whatever, like, just do it. Like, don't fucking question them. Don't be like, oh, well, I saw this YouTube video that says that you want to do this way or whatever. It's like, man, just shut the fuck up. You don't have the freedom to question stuff or, like, you know, do things your own way. And but eventually you do need to get to the point where you get that. But that unfreedom leads to the freedom that you get, that you're looking for. But yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, the proper amount of skepticism and knowing when to apply it.
Yeah,
that's the balance.
Yes,
that's the difficult part of the equation when you're learning new things.
Learning new things, just trying to navigate life. Oh yeah. So yeah, man. So we got an interesting problem at Fruita BJJ.
Oh, okay.
We got like fucking too many kids.
Do you?
And I'm gonna start kicking them out. No, I'm kidding.
What's your what's the limit, like the size that you can kind of handle?
I think that, man, once we start getting over a dozen kids on the mat, it starts to get a little tougher. Mm-hmm. It's not even cramped. It's that we've got like the big kids and the little kids together, and so it's just being able to like get enough coaching for everyone that becomes more of the challenge. So, dude, we've had like 18 kids on the mat on a pretty regular basis the last few weeks. So we've got just like, we've got more kids that are inquiring. It's funny. It's like, dude.
What are you doing? You're running kids classes twice a week right now, like Mondays and Wednesdays?
Monday and Wednesday. So
do you have enough to split it up into another class?
See, I do, but you know, I've been doing this long enough to know, like, man, my mental energy and my time is finite.
Yep.
And so, as easy as it sounds to be like, oh, I'm just going to throw another class on the schedule.
There's a cost.
There's a huge cost.
Yeah.
You know, especially at this point where, like, I've got a lot of things going on. And so, yeah, it's interesting. I was talking with Kieli about it before you got here this morning. And it's like, because the initial thing is like, oh, you know, let's split the classes up. But that has a cost. And so, like, well, is there a way to make the current situation more efficient? You know, so that's why we were joking, like, oh, do you need a job, you know, coaching kids after work? Because, you know, what we usually end up doing is, like, the kids do the warm-up together, and then I'll show a technique, and then we split them up. And then you got the big kids on one side of the mat and the little kids on the other side of the mat. And then, like, right now, Kieli kind of works with the big kids, and I work with the little kids. And so, like, I don't really get a chance to do much with the big kids at all. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, and then, so they do that. We've split them up a little bit for, like, the technique and then wrestling, and then they come together for dodgeball at the end. And so, like, overall, the formula is not bad. Like, it's you know, I'm not trying to run everybody through the same thing. Like, the little kids kind of have their thing and the big kids kind of have their thing. They got a common thread. But the problem is I get sucked into coaching the little kids, and then I can't really pay attention to anything else that's going on. And so that's where it's like, well, if we split the classes up, then, you know, Kieli would be able to help, and that would solve the problem. But, you know, is there a way to maybe get someone to help with the big kids or the little kids so that I can kind of be like, you know, floating between both and helping with both, you know, sort of solutions. So
yeah, it definitely becomes a manpower thing, because coaching little kids is like herding cats.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. And then when, you know, to try to explain, you get a little kid that's messing up the technique, and you're taking your time and effort to explain that, then little Timmy over here is jerking off and doing something else. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, son of a bitch. Like, dude, it's so difficult, dude.
Yeah.
It's not an easy task.
No.
And it is a manpower thing. You just need more coaches. You know, especially when it even comes to kids, it's almost like you just need, like, parents that, you know, and then you can kind of give them a cursory knowledge of,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Getting parents involved. I think Ken's the only person who has a kid who also does jiu-jitsu. You know, because I helped coach kids class when I first, like, Shiloh started doing it, and so, like, I pitched in. And
you were
helped.
doing it for a while over at Grand Valley.
Yeah. I was coaching
quite a while.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's your initial source of help usually is like, hey, you know, do you want to help coach your kid, you know, or the kids class? Because it is a good way to learn stuff. I mean, you definitely pick things up, helping with the kids class. So, but, like, I have one person who I could do that with, and so usually having a couple would be better. But so yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, because Shiloh's technically gonna not be in the kids class here soon because she's gonna be 16, and so
That's one of the benefits of having kids. You can make them do stuff.
I know.
That's why we never had a tractor. And when we moved into the house in Flushing, our yard was big enough to where, like, mowing it by push mower, like, sucked. And so we'd always talk to my dad, like, dude, buy us a tractor. Like, this is kind of a decent sized yard. This takes a while. He said, why the fuck? No, I have kids.
Some kids.
Go push it. You need exercise. It's cheaper. Go
You got
push
the
it.
time.
And why don't we have a dishwasher? Because I have kids. We know we never had a dishwasher. He's like, wash the goddamn dishes. So when you
Yeah.
have kids, you can.
Yep.
It's kind of like slave labor a little bit.
A little bit. So it's yeah, I think we're gonna explore some things. Maybe have Shiloh, because the big kids can kind of run themselves a little bit, especially, like, if I'm able to help and interact with them on any level. It's like you said, the little kids is like herding cats,
It is,
man.
dude.
Holy crap! It is. Yeah. It's
It takes
you know,
a lot of patience.
yeah, it does. I mean, it's fun. Like, right about, like, you know, because Z is 7, and he can stay pretty focused. And there's a couple kids around that age, and so they can, you know, stay reasonably focused. But yeah, man, the younger kids, and, like, I kind of have made it more interesting on myself because I have a hard time saying no to kids that want to do the class. And I've got 2 4-year-olds who have older brothers who do the class. And like, they want to do the class with their older brother. And it's like, man, am I going to tell a kid that wants to be here and wants to like do this? Like, no, you can't do it. And so anyway, I mean, the parents are cool. I've told them like, look, man, like they may end up just sitting on the wall watching a bunch because, when we're doing the technique or we're doing stuff, like if they're not into it or whatever, like, they're not,
They can't suck up.
they're
all
too
the
young
time,
for the
man.
class. Yeah. Like they know that. It's like, no, I don't, like they are younger than what I usually take on. So like, they're not going to be able to, it's not going to be the same for them, sort of thing. But still, you still try to like, get them involved. But it's just like the younger they are, just the disproportionately large amount of time that they require to keep on track. And
It's huge.
So, yeah, man. So it's
And then you feel bad. Like even if you tell the parents that and they're fully understanding, and so you let the little 4-year-olds come in and try it, you feel terrible not letting them be fully engaged. You know what I mean? Like, like you got to watch.
I don't like to not have them doing stuff.
You want them doing the whole thing. If you're gonna let them do it, you like be part of it.
Yeah.
But so then you feel bad, like so it's a really kind of a lose-lose situation. Like you feel bad for not letting them do it.
Yeah.
Then you let them do it, and then it's just whew.
That's why I think if I can find someone else to do that, then I don't have to feel bad about it.
You may let them feel bad.
Yeah,
about
let
it.
them feel bad about it.
Okay, I'm trying my best.
Although, man, I don't. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm kind of leaning towards trying that because we can always go to more classes. The thing is like once we go to more classes, it can be a little tough to like go back. And so I think that this is the more I think about it and talk about it, the more I think we're gonna try that, like getting Shiloh more involved with just kind of helping coach the bigger kids and letting me help, and then
It'd be good for her.
help
I
the
think
little
she'd be
kids.
good at it. Shiloh seems like pretty patient.
Yeah,
kid.
she is. I mean, I'd let her help with the little kids. She does great with the little kids, but Z's in that group, and
That's not gonna end well.
that gets interesting many times. Not that it's not always one or the other or whatever. They just they have a brother sister dynamic.
Yeah, there's a brother sister thing there.
Yeah, and so it. So, anyways, yeah, that's why we're probably gonna let Keela handle the little kids, and then Shiloh help out with the big kids. It's funny. Keela's like, I don't know how that'll work because the kids look at her like a peer, and I'm like, she's bigger than them and she can kick all their asses. It's like I don't know, not to like take it down to the lowest common denominator, but on some level, like if I'm saying that this person is gonna help coach this group and they're bigger than everyone, they can kick all your asses, they're better than you, they know more than you know what I mean? It's like kids
think in pretty simple terms when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like Shiloh can beat us up.
Yeah.
So she can tell us what to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even close. Like
Right.
she's head and shoulders fucking better than any kid there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when she wrestles, like she's usually just letting people do stuff to her and trying to let them work stuff. Because if she just went on one of the kids, like, and I say kids, she's 15. They're like, 12, 13, several boys. And it's like, yeah, dude, she's whooping her ass. And so, yeah, I don't think the respect thing
Yeah,
would be...
I don't think that'll be a problem.
No, because she knows what she's talking about. And so, like, if she says, hey, this is how you should do this, then it's like, yeah, we should listen to Shiloh because she knows what she's talking about. So I think that'll go fine.
Yeah, I think that'll be all right.
Yeah. So there you go, man. That's my New Year's problem.
Good problem to have.
It is a good problem.
You kind of, I know in the back of your head, you knew that problem would come eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yep. Well, I know you think it, but I've also been involved in a lot of things that I thought were gonna go a certain way that didn't either. So it's good to see. And what's interesting is like we're not doing any promotion. It's not like we're out there trying to get new kids in. It's just it is starting just like word of mouth. Like, oh, this. One of the kids doing it has a friend, and then they got a sister, and then they have a friend, and then, they talked to this person who heard about it. And so
a lot of school programs are shut down right now. They're not doing a bunch of that, so parents are needing outlets for their kids.
Yeah,
that's
we're definitely benefiting from that. Because, there's a lot of kids who would be doing soccer or freaking football.
Yeah, I
or
bet you a
basketball
lot of
or-
kids' sports are shut down right now still, right? They're not doing a ton of it?
Man, I'm not really sure. I don't think so.
I bet they're not.
I mean, I know there's things going on because I know like gymnastics is going on at one of the places. Because I know a couple kids that are doing that. But yeah, as far as like school sports, organized school sports, like I've heard like wrestling was going, like in I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're like trying to make some sort of attempt, but it's not the same.
Wrestling is going. It's funny because I was talking. Who was I talking to about that? Oh, I was talking to Brian Harris because his boys wrestle.
Yeah.
It's how it's not actually through the school because like the schools can't do it.
Okay.
So it's like wrestling.
So it's another club thing.
Yeah,
Like the gymnastics thing.
But it is the school. It is
Right.
all the same kids and coaches and everything. But then now they did, instead of being Grand Junction High School wrestling team, they're Grand Junction Wrestling Club or whatever. You know, they throw a different fucking name on it.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So some of those things are taking place.
Yeah.
Like
But like
that.
it's not the same. So yeah, there's definitely several kids and even some of the adults. Like old Adam is training with us because he can't do his triathlons and other things. So you know, it's had some benefit, but
Seems like triathlons and shit could keep on going. You know what I mean? Just out there swimming and running and biking.
yeah, but you're so close.
It could be, yeah.
And they don't. I mean, apparently in this upcoming season, things are scheduled. But, dude, the Olympics are supposed to go on this year. You think that's going to happen?
This summer?
Yeah. Remember they postponed them for a year.
Oh, that's right. They were supposed to go on last
They're
summer,
supposed to
weren't
go
they?
on last summer.
I forgot all about that.
Dude, it has been so... It hasn't even been a year. And it is... Like, I was just thinking back on, like, all the shit that happened over this last year. And it's crazy. It's like 5 years worth of shit.
Crammed into one year.
Crammed
Yeah.
into
Well,
one.
yeah, when shit started hitting the fan, it was almost a year. I mean, we're in January now.
It was February, March.
Yep.
Remember they canceled March Madness.
Yep.
So it was
Well,
right
I
at the end of
remember-
February.
Because I remember I went to Silverton, went skiing President's Day weekend, so middle of February. Oh, speaking of that, because I was sick. Because I remember I got pretty sick like the week before that.
Yeah.
And that weekend before I went and did that backcountry skiing there with Adam, if it would have been that weekend prior, like I was gonna have to cancel, dude. I was wrecked. I remember just your typical cold, cough, and
Yeah.
just terrible. And then the next weekend came up, and I was still pretty rough, man. I was coughing quite a bit. And we went into that trip. But the reason I bring that up is because I was certain I had the coronavirus. I mean, at the time, coronavirus really wasn't a thing yet.
No.
But it literally like another week or two went by, and then it was a major thing. I went and did the antibody test at City Market because you can do it for
Yeah.
like $25.
Yeah.
No antibodies.
No, huh?
Nope, I didn't. I don't know how. Like if I was sick that long ago, almost a year ago, do you still have the antibodies? How does that work?
You should.
You would think.
Once you get it, 'cause it should.
So, but apparently I didn't have it because I did not have the antibodies.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I went and spent the $25 to check it out. I've been meaning to, and finally I had the opportunity. I was like, I'll do it.
It's one of those. Yeah. It's interesting to know for your own knowledge, but what's funny is like that doesn't get you anything.
No, it was more like
You don't get I don't have to wear a mask card.
right, or the vaccine's starting to come out. So
Yeah.
like, okay,
I don't need a
if
vaccine.
I got antibodies, I don't need a vaccine.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I was doing it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's finally find out because I've been assuming this whole year that I had it.
Dude.
Like I've been telling everybody I'm positive I had it.
Yeah.
No, apparently I just had something else. I did not have COVID-19.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how science can't restore any rights. It can only take your rights away. So, they use science to do the antibody test. But even if you're positive, you don't get anything back because science says, no, I had it. So I'm not, the same as people who haven't had it, who need to do these things. It's like, it's madness. Like, it's still making the kids do the 14-day quarantine when the CDC is like, no, it's 7 to 10 days. It's like, well, it should be changed. Like, why can science not help us get some shit back? So, it's the new fucking religion, man.
Yeah, just obviously I could just start going off. I get so frustrated. I mean, so much of it is none of us knew what was going on at the jump. So much of the shit that the government and the politicians did, they just wanted to look like they were doing something. They didn't want to be accused of not doing nothing. So they put all these fucking rules in place. And you can see the reason why they did some of it because no one knew. But
Yeah.
they won't admit they were wrong. That's the big fucking problem. You know, they won't say, okay, hey, we took this action. This action was not the best action to take, but at the time, it was, with the information we had, it was the best we could do. They won't say, hey, we fucked up and course correct. They just won't do it. It's just like when, you know, you catch your kid lying and the kid just won't be like, all right, fuck it, I lied, you caught me. They just keep compounding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just keep adding to it. Like, motherfucker, just admit we didn't make the best decision and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
They won't do it. And that's why we're at where we're at. Dude, I've been... So... we don't have a ton of time. We'll wrap this up in like 10, 15 minutes. But I've been going down this mental rabbit hole. And I'm getting more and more... The more I think about this, the more concerned I get. History repeats itself, right?
Yeah.
So we had the Spanish flu.
Uh-huh.
You know, that was prior to 1920, like 1918 or something, I forget. Well, then, so we had Spanish flu, then we had the Roaring Twenties, and then we had the Great Depression. 1929, I think, was like kind of the date we put on it in the history books. History repeats itself, man. This is what I'm really getting concerned about, man. Like, I think we are going to repeat that same fucking cycle. And what does that mean for the Great Depression? You know, if we go through a second Great Depression. I've been really thinking about that. And it's really making me fucking freak out. Like, I've been going down this whole prepper rabbit hole already.
Yeah.
And I've been considering this more. I don't know what it means.
Well, yeah,
I don't know how it's going to manifest itself in this day and age. I don't know.
I mean, the bubble's gonna burst, right? Like, we live in an area with like a ridiculous housing market. Like,
Right.
this is not sustainable.
Right.
And
Our houses, I haven't really looked, but our house is still pretty expensive right now.
oh, fucking insane, dude.
I haven't
yeah.
looked.
Yeah. It's a buddy of mine who lives in New York and he does rental properties. And he's like, man, I was looking at houses in your area because, you know, one of the tricks is to have a rental property in an area you like to go on vacation, because then anytime you go there, everything's a write-off because you're, you know, there to inspect your property or whatever. He's like, man, I was looking at houses in your area. And he's like, what is going on there? It's crazy. I mean, like, freaking, I mean, these houses over there are going for over like $350,000, and they're like 1,700 square feet, 1,800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're nice, but they're not like super nice.
Yeah, $350,000, nice.
No, not. I mean, the house across the street went for almost $500,000. It was like $480,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, $475,000, something like that. Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's not a $500,000 home.
I mean, the location is what it is. I mean, we have so
Right.
many people fucking coming here. I mean, they can't get those houses over there built fast enough. Like, they're literally, people are moving in while the builders are moving the last of their shit out. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know what they do, but they're throwing down, you know, $350,000 on a house, and they all got a brand new fucking Tacoma and a brand new shiny RV, and it's like, what the fuck? Who are these people? Like, what do they do? It's crazy. So, yeah, dude, we're getting invaded by the outdoorsy people, and they got wind that this was a good area, but it can't last. I mean, you can't, like, no bubble does. So, but I guess, like, but you're talking about, like, you know, a major
I'm
economic
talking, like a complete collapse.
collapse.
So we had, you know, a pretty significant downturn in 2008.
Yeah.
I'm talking something, dare I say, catastrophic, like the Great Depression, where people are boiling their fucking boots to try to get some nutrients because they can't. I'm concerned, man. Our current path and system is not sustainable.
No.
And everything, and so many different levels we could discuss it. And yeah, man, like I got this weird feeling that something is gonna go. Like I say, fucking history repeats itself, man. Know your fucking history. We did it. We were doing this exact same thing. You know, we got the pandemic. People, once the pandemic gets, you know, we kind of sort that out. We get some vaccines. Everybody's gonna be like, woohoo, and go out and fucking live it up like it's 1999. And then shit's gonna hit the fucking fan. So I don't know. But it's that. How do you prepare yourself? Do you stop? What do you do? You know, do you buy a bunch of gold and silver. You know, you put your money in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is so high right now.
Oh yeah.
I made a little bit of money in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been buying some over the years. You know, I was buying little, you know, bits and pieces of it. You know, for when it was like $5,000, $6,000 of Bitcoin. I wish I bought it back when it was $100 or $200 of Bitcoin. But dude, it's up around, I don't know what it is today, but it's like creeping up around $30,000 of Bitcoin.
Damn.
Yeah. And so where's that gonna go? You know, because people are thinking like I am, like, oh fuck, but I don't know if that's the solution. You know.
Yeah, Bitcoin's interesting. I mean, because it relies on technology, and so like if there's a fucking collapse, like
It just goes away.
yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I think that the thing that's really weirded me out about this whole pandemic thing is how global it is. Like, there's nowhere to go to get away from it, and that's been a really unique thing in human history. Like, you know, you had the fucking Dark Ages in Europe, but like, you know, over in the Middle East, it was like the Enlightenment period for them or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, you know, you got the Black Death here, but you can go here. Like, you know, I know most people couldn't, but just theoretically you could. Like, there's just somewhere that you could go to get away from the problem. And so like, what this is like changed my fucking view on, like, holy shit, like these things can be global. So like, you know, an economic collapse in America, man, that sucks. But I mean, what if it just means fucking pulling up stakes and moving to Costa Rica or something like that, right? I mean, it's that would suck, but like, being in a position where you could do that would be an answer. But the problem is like, well, what happens if there's some sort of like global thing that happens and there's nowhere to fucking go?
There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go, and then it's just like, holy shit! Now what do we do? So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think that the history does repeat itself. I think that it would be, man, I don't know what would have to happen for there to be, because there's so many people that have so much at stake for the current system to not collapse. And, you know, so that's always kind of the I don't know, man, the underpinnings of a lot of stuff. I mean, that's what kept us through the Cold War, right? Like, why Russia and fucking America didn't blow each other up is like, there were just too many people that had too much at stake to not tear the whole thing down.
But there's the people that have so much at stake, like our politicians, are quote unquote leaders.
Yeah.
They're fucking fools, and you know,
Yeah.
and they're not.
Well,
they're not afraid to just print a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And dude, where was it? Like, was it like in Zimbabwe or something, where the inflation got so ridiculous that their actual paper money was worth more as fuel? They were burning it to cook their food and for heat or whatever, or light.
Yeah.
Because it was more valuable like that than it was to actually go exchange it for goods, because their inflation got so fucking high. Because their idiot fucking government just kept printing it. What's happening with our fucking guns? Like, the shit they do, dude, drives me fucking insane. Like, when they put that last bill out that was 5,570 some pages, they present it to all the Congress and like, hey, you have to vote on this in 2 hours. Fuck you, man. There's no common sense there. No one can read all that. And there was only like 6, I think, politicians that stepped up and said, hey, this is absurd that you expect us to vote on this within 2 hours or 5 hours or whatever it was. We can't approve it. You know, there was like Ted Cruz, there was a guy from Utah. There were literally like
AOC was one of them.
She voted for it. No, that fucking cunt.
Oh, she voted for it?
Yes.
She complained about it.
She complained, but she didn't want to. She wouldn't put her name on the line. She voted for it. So fuck that. I hate that fucking bitch.
She's a snake, dude.
She would speak up and say this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But she didn't want it to come back and bite her in the ass to say, hey, we she doesn't want to help the people. No, she voted for it. So fuck her. She's like.
But she's still like, I can take that in isolation from everything else she's ever said or done.
But
just
actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
She commented on the absurdity of it.
Yeah.
Which any rational person would.
And almost 6 people did.
But she voted for it to pass. Yeah. So actions speak louder than words, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fuck right off. But that's the kind of idiots we're dealing with. Like, you know, like I say, it's common sense, man. Like, okay, they're locking everybody down. A lot of people can't work. They need money to get by. why doesn't a bill come out that you don't put all this other fucking bullshit
Exactly. That's the thing that I don't
in?
understand.
Present a fucking 5-page bill that says, hey, we're going to
This is COVID relief.
This is
period.
COVID relief. Nothing else.
Period.
Nothing else. Don't
Yeah.
put any other shit into it. Nothing else. We want to give people $2,000 a piece or whatever it is. I don't know the economics behind it, but that is it. So government Congress can pick it up and read it in 20 minutes, make an informed decision, and vote on it. There's common sense there, man. Like, it gets so muddied up. You tell I get pissed off just because it's.
Dude, yeah, I don't understand how those two things get. Like, you had the funding of the government, you had COVID relief, and you had like all this foreign aid bullshit. I mean, you had like just so much, and they were all tied together on one bill. So if you objected to any one of the things on the bill, like, you were stuck. You're like, well, do I vote for the rest of the things?
Right.
Or do I not vote for it? And I was like, the thing, like, Trump was talking about, like, the COVID relief is bullshit. And, well, all of a sudden the story got turned around to, like, oh, he's threatening to not fund the government. We could face a government shutdown over him saying he's going to veto this bill. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, how did government funding get tied into COVID relief so that he can't veto a bullshit COVID relief bill without vetoing funding the government? I like that at the heart of everything that's wrong with the system, that's it right there.
It's
Until
huge.
that gets fixed, like, this whole system is
Fucked. And see, it is. It's fucked. And I think about it, and it just, there's no rational, you can't take any one of those motherfuckers and they're not going to give you a rational explanation as to why that goes down.
The theory is, I mean, so again, like, you can see where it started, where, like, okay, look, man, I want to pass this bill. And so, I need your help. And so, well, you need some funding for a project in your county. So, we'll get support for both these things, like, y'all vote for my thing and have my support, and you vote for it too and get your people to support it. And so it was a way to kind of try to reach, like, agreement on stuff. Whereas it's like, hey, this is all we're voting on here, this is it. Then it's tougher to get people to vote for it, which sounds bullshit, right? Because you're basically bribing people to vote for your shit.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
You're bribing people to vote for your shit.
Yep.
And that's, but the politically correct way to look at it, the way that they would explain it to you, is that, well, this is how we build consensus, is I agree to support your bill and you agree to support my bill, and we're together, so that way they're guaranteed, right? Because you can say one thing and then I vote for you, and then when it comes time to vote for mine, you fuck me over and you don't vote for it. Well, so the only way that we can guarantee that we're both going to get what we want is if these two things are on the same bill, so that we're voting on them at the same time, so that if one passes, the other passes. That's the only way we're going to do this. Yep. And if that's the only way that you can get things to happen, that's bullshit. You
have a broken system.
It's a broken system.
It's a broken system if that's the only way things get to happen.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'll scratch my back if you scratch yours.
That's what it is. It comes down to just back scratching.
Now what's best? It's I need my back scratch, you need your back scratch. How do we scratch each other's back? Okay, there's a law.
Yep.
Here's a bill.
It's
like, holy shit, dude. It's insanity.
It is insanity, dude. And it's so fucking frustrating for us, just as common folk. Like, fuck, man. Like, what is happening? Like, if any of us operated our daily lives like the way the government operates, you can't do it.
Can't do it. They live in a fantasy world.
It is not the real world. And it's like going to Telluride. All these motherfuckers in Telluride are in a fantasy land. And it's the same thing, man.
I forgot to tell you, I freaked out a couple young girls too.
Yes.
They're not wearing a mask.
Yes.
They're always like, I'm guessing like early 20s. White girls who just look overly just freaked out by the fact that you're not wearing a mask. I had one, we were in the mall, and I was sitting there talking to my mom and my sister, and I just, we're out in the mall, like the open area, and it's like, my general thing is, dude, I don't wear that fucking mask. I try to be respectful of people, so if there's people around, I'll pop it up.
Yep.
But if I'm in an area where there's just not a lot of people around, even if I'm inside,
I'll take it off.
I'll take it off, because it fucking sucks. And so I'm sitting there talking to my mom, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this lady like stop, and she's just like, just frozen on the periphery of of us, and I could barely, I kind of noticed her, and then I noticed her walk around really far around us, and she looks over, and I could see her like give me the fucking disgusted, you're crazy look. I was like, oh my God, man. And then like same thing coming out of Kohl's. We were outside, and I'm walking through the parking lot to my car and had the mask down. And same thing, some girl saw it and like, oh, fucking eyes go boom.
Yeah.
And just like, whoosh, I mean, very obvious that they are circumventing getting near you. And yeah,
it's crazy.
It's fucking
dude.
hilarious, man. It is funny to watch. Like once you point it out, I wonder how many times it's happened before and I
just
didn't
haven't
realize
noticed.
it.
Yeah.
And then once you point it out, I'm like, oh my God, like
There's people
are freaked the fuck out.
Because they spend all day listening to and watching fear porn.
Yeah.
Is what I like to call it. Like on CNN, and like, dude, if you watch when they got just a ticker scrolling across the screen of the death tolls, and it is just fear porn. Yeah, if you spend your days and that's the only information you got coming in, yeah, you're gonna be freaked out.
Dude, I went to REI we were looking for something when we were Christmas shopping, and they were only letting a certain number of people in at a time. And and of course, Target's not, this is one of those fucking things. It's like I can go to the mall, no one's checking me to see how many people are here. Walmart, the fucking grocery store. But I come to REI, and you motherfuckers are gonna tell me I gotta wait outside because you can only have like 10 people in the store at a time. And so like I walk up and I saw the line, I was like, oh man, are they making us wait out here? And they're like, yeah. And dude, it's so funny. My filter just didn't pop up in time. I was like, fuck this shit. And I just turned around and walked off. Like Kelly standing there like, oh shit. I'm like,
Guess we're leaving.
Guess we're leaving. But yeah, man, I was like, this is bullshit, but of course REI, they made Z wear a mask when we went in there yesterday or 2 days ago. They were like, children over 2 have to wear a mask. I'm like, the only reason is because who they cater to.
Yep.
They cater to the fear porn fans.
Yep.
And like those people are so fucking scared. And that's your customer, so you have to cater to those people. And they're willing to stand out in the fucking cold and put a fucking mask on their 3-year-old kid. Because, dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But, yeah, man, it's all right.
That's awesome. I'm glad you freaked out some young dummies.
Yeah. It's good. We need to scare the normals. I still have that website URL.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Did you ever do much of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't found the perfect thing to do with it. Now I'm getting some ideas.
Mask.
I'm gonna start encouraging people to post videos of them going into places like
Scary.
REI and just taking their mask off and walking around, and just not doing anything crazy, right?
No.
Don't go cough on people. Don't breathe on people. Don't anything. Just film everyone's reaction as you walk around with no mask, looking at stuff.
Oh, dude, I see it all the time. Man. When I'm in Telluride, dragging a heavy ass pallet down the sidewalk, I'm outside and I'm dragging a fucking 500-pound pallet down the sidewalk in the wintertime. Guess what? I'm not wearing a mask. I'm like Moses parting the Red Sea, man. All these liberal hippie motherfuckers, dude, get out of my way. I'm like, good, fucking move. And like you say, I'll do the same thing if I got to go inside or if I'm walking through a crowd of people. If I'm not physically exerting myself to that extent, I'll put it up, and I put it up just so I don't freak people out.
Exactly.
That's it. It's the only reason I'm doing it.
That is an okay reason to do that. You're not a pussy because you're just trying to not create fucking tension where you don't need it.
Exactly. Especially I got my work uniform on, so that just warrants a bunch of phone calls and complaints and shit. But yeah, man, I do. People just avoid you like the plague, dude. It's like, good, man, get out of my way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be that afraid about things,
yeah, man,
I don't want to talk to you anyways.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but speaking of places that you don't have to worry about that, got my Steel Challenge competition tomorrow. So
nice.
Yeah, well, next time we chat, I'll have some info on that.
Hell
so,
yeah.
But yeah, I was signed up and see how that goes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What time does that go down?
It was about noon.
Noon. I haven't completely. Is it too late to sign up if I was to do it today?
No.
It's in my, I gotta think about it. I might. I was thinking about going skiing tomorrow, but
it's pretty informal.
It'd be fun to go do that.
Yeah, Steel Challenge is. It's gonna be a good first one because it's so straightforward. Like you don't have to worry about am I supposed to shoot this 2 or 3 times and run here, do that. So yeah, you just stand in a box and shoot steel targets. So dry fire yesterday was draws, because you got to draw every 5 times every round, and you do multiple rounds. So like you draw a bunch, and so your draw time is a little more important than when you're running around and have a chance to make that up more. But so the draws and then like target transition, because you're standing in one place, so it that was my. I don't have my laser cartridge. My laser cartridges keep breaking.
You broke another one?
Yeah, I had one where the tail cap stopped working, and then I had another one that just turned into a fucking blob on the wall.
I haven't broke one yet.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't know what I'm doing that wrong.
That's just shit luck, I think.
I think so too. So
because it's not like you can or can't do. You're not doing anything. You're dropping it in your chamber and
fucking racking it,
and you're done.
And shooting, yeah. So.
Just shit luck.
Yeah, just shit luck. So it was getting bad. I was using it mainly for like draw time, just to time myself on the Laser X, because it was getting to where you couldn't really trust like where it was saying you were hitting, and so. But yeah, it's getting my draws. What is it like? It's like under 2 seconds, I think. Yeah, the way that they have the thing.
The way they got the
set
the
up. Yeah,
set
it's
up.
got it like each one's a second. So. Dude, getting your fucking draw and a shot on target in under 2 seconds is
it's moving.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. No, that's from concealed. Definitely not. So, dude, that book, that practical shooting book that I was reading, the Charlie Perez one. You apparently like to be a world class level, you got to be able to draw
sub 1 second.
Sub 1 second, consistently 0.75 seconds.
Yep.
What the fuck, man?
Sounds like a good way to shoot yourself in the foot.
How? I don't understand where you're like. I'm doing something similar. How are you making up a whole fucking second? I don't. And again, I know it's there. Just my ignorance in it doesn't allow me to see it. But you're trying to like evaluate what you think you know about the process and be like, where is the second coming from? But it's just reps, man.
Reps.
That's been one of those things that like just doing the reps. Like you just get better doing the reps. So. Because for concealed carry, like your draw is super important. Man, you fumble it, you get it out
Can't be bad.
too slow. Yeah, like you're dead. It's funny. Like I'll be out there practicing, and Z's over there fucking around, and if I fuck up my draw, I'm like, we're dead, son. Just fuck.
Sorry,
this.
I let you down.
Yeah, but it is. I don't think about like real hardcore that way, but like that is it. So like when I'm doing it, like that is my mindset. Like. We just fucking died. Like I needed to draw my weapon. I just did not get a good clean draw. And like, if this was real life, that would have resulted in bad things for me and whoever I was trying to help. So like having that mental framework when you're practicing, helps so that you're not just
doing it to do it.
Yeah. It's like, why am I doing it? Yeah. I was out there practicing some close quarter combat stuff. Like, in close, and like that's why you'd have to do a reverse hand draw. Like because I was telling you, I was like practicing that. I was like, oh, why would you need to do that? And I was thinking like, dude, what if you're up close with someone, and you gotta like push to make space, and like preferably you'd be able to push away with your weak arm, and then be able to do a strong hand draw. But that may not be the case. So what if they got your fucking strong arm tied up, and now you gotta fucking get that gun out with your weak hand. And it's like, oh. So I was practicing that. I get out in the garage and just funny. Like start thinking of imagining scenarios. Like, yeah. But I don't know. That's why I think it's fun, man. You just try to think like, okay, what am I going to do? Now, how do I get better at that? It's like, all right, let's make up a little drill to help me get better with this skill. And, but yeah, it's fun shit.
Cool. Let's end there.
Yeah.
So I can get out of here and get to class on time.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. All right. See you.
See ya.